West Virginia Senator and one of the only two members of the Rational Democrat Caucus, Joe Manchin, announced that he's keeping his options open for his political future and refused to commit to endorsing Joe Biden in 2024. Now, this can mean one of two things, and we're going to get into what I think it means here. But before we get into that, be sure to like, subscribe, turn the notifications on, share around if you're feeling generous, follow my socials at Caleb Isn't Funny on Twitter and Instagram, Caleb Salvatore Comedy on TikTok. All that's down in the description below. You can follow my show, That's Based with Caleb Salvatore. We air episodes every single Saturday. It's outlawstreamers.com, Rumble, Spotify, Spreaker, Apple Podcast, and iHeartRadio. Again, That's Based with Caleb Salvatore. We can't put full episodes on YouTube. You go watch it, you'll see why. But I do post clips 10 a.m. Central Standard Time every single day on my YouTube channel here. If you like what you see there, you can go watch the full episode. The links are always in the description. They're in the description right now. Tomorrow, we're dropping a new episode. So Joe Manchin said he's keeping his options open, and he's not going to commit to endorsing Biden. What does this mean? The knee-jerk reaction from everyone is, oh my God, he's going to run for president. I don't see that happening, though. The reason I don't see it happening is he's not going to win. The man is hated in the Democratic Party. The reason they haven't turned this country. Listen, we can hate Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema as much as we want to, but the reality is those two should be regarded as heroes because Joe Biden. I mean, they had close to a super majority in the House. Joe Biden and the progressive Democrats have not been able to push through their borderline communist agenda because of those two. Those two have been a major holdup in it, and they've. You know what? More credit to them. You can say what you want about them. Yeah, it'd be better to have a Republican in office in that spot, but those two have honestly kept this country from descending even further and even faster. So credit to them. Credit where it's due. But because of that, a lot of people on the left resent him, and they blame him for why they're not as far along in destroying this country as they'd like to be. So that's why there's no chance he wins any type of nomination for president. It's just not going to happen. He gets demolished. Now, what they're saying is he could want to spark some kind of movement. Spark some type of movement where the Democratic Party moves closer to the center. Because remember, Joe Biden ran as the centrist candidate, and he's basically a full-blown commie. That's what he's acted like since he took office. So the feeling, or that seems to be the theory I'm seeing from people. He knows he's not going to win, but he's going to run for president anyway, and hopefully try to reform the Democratic Party. Let me tell you, man, it's too far gone. It's too far gone. The lunatics run the asylum. The rational voices like you and Kyrsten Sinema have been kicked to the side. You can either get on board with the insanity, keep your mouth shut, or get out. And that's basically what they've said. They don't want anyone. There's no dissent. There's no room for dissent. There's no room for questioning in today's Democratic Party. It's just not there. You have to be in lockstep. Everyone, regardless of how you actually feel on the issues, you have to be in lockstep with the mainstream platforms, which are getting more insane and more ludicrous by the day. So I don't think he wins a nomination, and I don't think it sparks any type of real change. I mean, seriously, what's an old white guy from West Virginia is not going to spark any type of real change in the Democratic Party? It's just not going to happen. Also, I don't see him as the martyr type. I really don't. I don't think that he has huge. It's not a knock on him. I just don't think he has huge altruistic ambitions to where I'm going to ruin my political career. I'm going to lose my Senate seat, my comfy Senate seat, and all for what? To try to make the Democratic Party a little bit more moderate? It's not going to happen. He's not dumb. He knows it's not going to happen. He knows that wouldn't work. And he knows that in all reality, I think he knows deep down that he really doesn't care that much. I think what he means when he says he's going to endorse, or excuse me, when he says he's leaving his options open and he won't commit to endorsing Biden, I think what he means by that is he's running for re-election in the Senate in 2024 because his seat is up. He is considered one of, if not the most vulnerable members of the Senate. Democrats are going to have a tough Senate map next year, excuse me. He's considered one of the most vulnerable members of the Senate, which is weird considering the video yesterday where we talked about how fragile everyone is. But nonetheless, he will. My theory is he's not going, because if he endorses Joe Biden for re-election, that's the kiss of death in West Virginia. He's done. He might as well not even run. He's done. Like that's it. The only chance he has is if he says, no, I'm not endorsing Biden. I'm either not going to endorse anyone or I'm going to endorse the Republican. or I'm going to endorse some weird third party that no one's ever heard of. I don't see Joe Manchin. I don't see him winning if he endorses Joe Biden. That man is hated in states like West Virginia, in states in the Deep South, in states in smaller, less populated Midwestern states. He is. I'll go to the grocery store. I've never seen a president so hated, truly. And I don't. I live in a purple area, right? I live in a purple state. Excuse me. I don't live in deep red areas of the country. I'll go to the grocery store and be going to pick out some hamburger, and I hear the lady next to me mutter under her breath, "Well, at least the mean tweets are gone." Like that, people hate Joe Biden, especially in red states, though. So I can't even imagine what it's like in West Virginia. If he were to come out and say, "Yeah, go out and vote for Biden," he's over. He's done. He knows that's it. And I honestly think, and this is why I don't see him abandoning his Senate seat to run for president, I honestly think Joe Manchin cares the most about Joe Manchin. More than about his constituents, more than about the direction of the Democratic Party, more than the country. I think Joe Manchin cares about Joe Manchin. And that's why he's not going to endorse Biden, because he knows if he endorses Biden, it's over. And he's not going to run for president because he really doesn't care enough to try to shift the direction of the Democratic Party and the direction of the country as a whole in the right direction if it doesn't suit him. So I don't see him running for president either, because he'd get like 7 votes. And it's the same thing with Liz Cheney on the Republican side. She's not going to run. If Liz Cheney ran as an independent for president, she would objectively take more votes from Biden than she would from Trump. And say vice versa for Manchin. Manchin might get, if Manchin were to run as like an independent, which I really don't see him doing, I don't even know if he'd take votes from Trump, because I don't know if anyone would vote. I might get more votes than him. Like, I don't know anyone who would vote for him. Republicans see him as a sellout. Democrats see him as the one thing that's holding up their agenda. I don't know anyone who would vote for Joe Manchin. I don't. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think he's running for president? Do you think he's just trying to set up his Senate run for re-election in 2024 by not endorsing Biden? Very smart move, especially in a deep red state like West Virginia. Let me know in the comments. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn the notifications on, share around if you're feeling generous. Caleb Isn't Funny on Twitter and Instagram. Caleb Salvatore Comedy on TikTok. That's Based with Caleb Salvatore every Saturday. OutlawStreamers.com. Not just my show. It's Chris Baker's show. There's Tim Davis, has Freedom Rally USA. They're working on bringing some other content over. It's on Spotify, Spreaker, Rumble, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. Again, that's Based with Caleb Salvatore. Episodes drop every Saturday. Tomorrow, we got a good one coming for you. Thank you guys so much. Cheat on your taxes, not your spouse. Peace out, and stay based.